Hey guys, Adrian here from Digital Dojos at digitaldojos.com, and today I want to talk about how to start a website, going about starting up a website, and then monetizing it via the ad-based model. And I've done a lot of videos in this series, but I want to kind of dive a little bit in just the depth and summarize everything because I did get a question. This is more pertaining to me answering a question. I got a question from a reader by the name of Kieran Jones, and I told him if I have my Gmail open up here. I told him if I had the time, I'd go ahead and shoot a video to kind of reply because I personally like to. I try my best to answer all my viewers' questions, and especially if they take the time to send me an email, I try, if I can, to get a video out there because questions like this I think apply to the general, readership, my subscribers, so on and so forth. So yeah, I just want to sit down, shoot this quick video, this quick vlog. Hopefully, it helps more people out there than Kieran. Besides Kieran, hopefully it helps Kieran, but of course, helps a lot of you guys out there as well. And it's a little bit late. It's a Sunday night here, and I'm shooting with a DSLR. And I've been telling myself I need to get better lighting. Right now, I'm working off of the IMAX lighting here, and I'm still getting used to all this DSLR video. You can literally see all the detail in my face. I'm looking to pick up a 50mm just because I have trouble with the focus and staying in focus. There's times where I'll be like swaying back and forth and I'm completely out of focus. So in this case, I'm all up close and personal. Regardless, Kieran asks, thanks for the reply. I have a few questions starting out, and I'm just going to kind of summarize this because he talks about some other stuff here. Starting out, what did you use to build your website? I have an idea on a tech website, which also offers advertising, but how do I get people who want advertising? How do I make money? I'm one of the people out there who do not know how to code. I'm stuck on how to make a website. I don't have much money because I'm currently 14 years of age. All right, so that's the gist of it. And this is, this kind of dating back to me, when I started out on the web, I was probably around 12, maybe 13, I think, at the time. Back then, I didn't know how to code. I still don't know how to code. I know HTML, I know CSS, but that's like the gist. That's the bar of how far I know in coding and programming. I didn't know how to code. When I first started, I hooked up with a community member by the name of We493 or Josh Oakes, and who actually is running our new coding channel for Digital Dojos. So we've been on the web for a while. He helped me actually start my first website. But regardless, now the great thing about today, there's so many services, there's so many great platforms. And when I started out too, I didn't have the great equipment. I didn't have like this DSLR. I didn't have an iMac. I didn't have this and that. I still have the old desktop that I started out my videos on, though it's not in any use. It's just here, just sitting there, and I kind of keep it around for nostalgic reasons, I guess. But the great thing about today is there's so much great stuff out there. There's so many great services that provide a lot of this stuff for cheap or or free. Of course, you can always go the free route if you don't want to pay for certain stuff for like domains and hosting. There is free services out there, but obviously it's really, really cheap. It's better off to go the paid route. So starting off a website, it's really simple. You need two things. You're going to need a host and a domain provider. A lot of the times, some services provide both of that in one. For example, GoDaddy, though they're not a really popular, they're a popular company, but a lot of the tech heads out there don't use GoDaddy. GoDaddy does offer a lot of those services. They try to upsell you on a lot of stuff, but they do offer you domains and hosting. Domain is, www.digitaldojos.com. You can get stuff like digitaldojos.tv, .net, so on and so forth. You can get really creative to make your own unique domain name. So domain names are charged usually bi-yearly. You get annually charged for a domain name, maybe anywhere from $10 to $15. Really, really cheap, really affordable depending on your domain name. But it's ridiculously cheap, and there's a whole bunch of coupons you can get out there to save money. And again, really, really cheap for an annual cost. Hosting is usually charged at a monthly cost, or a monthly basis, I should say. Again, $8 to $9, maybe even more depending on your plan, but the basic plan, $9 will do you fine. Now, outside of that, you may need a content management system to build your site. If you don't know how to code, if you don't know how to build a site from scratch, there's great services out there. You can use Tumblr to start your website. Tumblr has its own hosting. You can use Tumblr and then just buy a domain name and redirect your domain name to your Tumblr blog. You can use sites like WordPress. You can use the WordPress web version, or you can get a self-hosted WordPress. So you can buy a hosting account, install WordPress on your web server. There's tons of tutorials how to do that. It's not difficult at all. It literally involves you dragging a folder into your FTP and you're good to go. And the video decided to cut off there during recording, but as I was saying, FTP. I mean, it's really simple nowadays to install self-hosted WordPress. There's other services out there. There's tons and tons of services. I'm not going to mention all of them. I currently use Squarespace. Squarespace, I think, is really good if you don't know a lot about coding, if you don't want to mess around a lot with the back end of your site, and you just want to focus on what's going to be on your site. It doesn't offer as much customization and stuff like WordPress, etc. But Squarespace, in my usage as of late, really, really great, really easy to design your website and make really unique looking websites. Has really great support for in terms of keeping your website uptime and all that. And I think if you get like the pro package, I think it's like $16 a month. You even get a free domain included in that. So Squarespace is another option to look at. So that's getting your website started up, hosting it, and the domain, and so on and so forth. Going about advertising, I get this question a lot. How do I get advertisers? How do I find people to make, how am I going to go about finding advertisers? Or, how am I going to get advertisers? And I think the first thing you need to realize when it comes to an ad model, an advertising model, you need to go out there and pitch to advertisers. Advertisers aren't necessarily going to come to you. Yes, they do, and it happens from time to time, but that's maybe if you've won established already yourself and you're a big brand or big audience, or they happen to stumble across your video. Maybe a company sees one of your videos on YouTube and pitches out to you because they want to advertise on your site. But, the ratio of you, to be a better chances, I should say, of contacting people and getting an advertisement deal for them to advertise on your website, whether it's a web banner, a paid link, or whatever it may be, rather than them coming to you and finding your website. First off, establish an audience. Don't focus on making the money right away. If you're going to try to do this for a living, which, it takes time, it takes work. I've been on the web for 6 years, and now I can, say that's what I do. I work from home doing this. But that's, you need to build up an audience. You need to, whether it's 100, 200, 300 readers, 1,000 readers, you need to get some sort of audience so you can pitch that to your advertisers. You can say, here's what I have, here's what I write about, here's what I cover, here's what my website's about. I think you'd match with my website. I think we can offer you an audience that would be interested in your product, your service, whatever it may be. And that's how you do it. I can't really get into specifics about pricing and stuff like that because it's to each its own. It really depends on what you offer, what you want to charge. Again, you want to charge kind of appropriately to your traffic or what you think you can offer that advertiser. But again, you have to kind of work that out between you and the advertiser. But other than that, that's really as simply as it goes. You asked about how I handle the money. I handle everything. I handle everything through PayPal just because it's safe, it's reliable, it's trusted in terms of, I do have issues with PayPal, but it's what a lot of advertisers, what a lot of people tend to handle money through. You can do stuff like wire transfers and stuff, so on and so forth. But I find PayPal is the easiest, in my opinion. So I hope that answers your questions. Again, you need to go out there, you need to pitch, you need to build your website using any of those services I mentioned. Focus on getting your site up, running, getting good content on there, and then worry about the advertisers when you really, really need to, when you need to start paying off costs, so on and so forth. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope this answered your question. I hope it helps Kieran, but along with that, I hope it helps a lot of you other guys out there in the audience. I'm Adrian from Digital Dojos. Head over to the new website over at digitaldojos.com. Thanks a lot for watching.